Welcome to ZoomInData. In this session, we will explore DBT dependency isolation and domain-driven analytics, an advanced concept for organizing large-scale DBT projects. As projects grow, multiple teams work on different data domains, such as sales, finance, or operations. Proper dependency isolation ensures that changes in one domain do not unintentionally affect other domains. This approach allows teams to work independently while maintaining the integrity and stability of the analytics platform. Subscribe to ZoomInData for more advanced DBT learning and practical insights. What is dependency isolation in DBT? Dependency isolation is the practice of separating DBT models into independent units or domains. It prevents changes in one domain from affecting unrelated models. This approach enhances project stability and reduces risk during model updates. Why is domain-driven analytics important? Domain-driven analytics organizes models around business domains like finance, marketing, or operations. It improves clarity for teams working on specific domains. This approach ensures ownership and accountability for each domain's data models. How can DBT implement dependency isolation? By using separate folders or sub-projects for each domain. By limiting cross-domain model references to only necessary cases. By tagging models to indicate the domain ownership. What is the benefit of domain tagging in DBT? Tags help identify models that belong to a specific domain. They allow selective runs and testing of only relevant models. Tags improve documentation and visibility across the project. How does dependency isolation affect model testing? Isolated domains allow testing within a controlled scope. Teams can run tests on their own models without impacting others. It simplifies debugging and reduces cross-domain errors. What is a cross-domain dependency? A cross-domain dependency occurs when a model in one domain references a model in another domain. It should be minimized to maintain isolation. When necessary, it must be clearly documented and managed. How can DBT manage cross-domain dependencies safely? Limit dependencies to essential cases only. Use versioning or aliases to avoid breaking changes. Communicate changes between domain teams to ensure stability. What are the benefits of domain-driven DBT projects? Clear ownership and accountability. Reduced risk of unintended downstream impacts. Easier scaling for multiple teams. Improved collaboration and maintainability. How should domains be structured in DBT? Use separate folders or sub-projects for each domain. Organize models, seeds, and snapshots within domain-specific directories. Tag models to reflect domain ownership and purpose. How does isolation support independent team workflows? Teams can develop and test their models independently. Changes in one domain do not break other domains' models. It allows parallel development and faster iteration. How can DBT documentation reflect domain ownership? Include domain information in model descriptions. Use tags to generate domain-specific documentation pages. Make lineage graphs show domain boundaries clearly. How can isolated domains improve CI/CD processes? CI/CD pipelines can run domain-specific models selectively. Reduces unnecessary build times and failures. Makes testing faster and more focused. How can domain-driven analytics reduce project complexity? By organizing models by business logic instead of technical dependencies. Teams focus on a smaller set of models at a time. Easier to track ownership, impact, and changes. How does dependency isolation affect model performance? Smaller, independent domains reduce unnecessary computations. Limits the number of models affected by a change. Makes debugging and optimization more manageable. Can domain-driven design coexist with cross-domain analytics? Yes, but cross-domain references should be minimal and well managed. Versioning and aliases can help avoid conflicts. Clear documentation ensures transparency for all teams. How does isolation support production stability? Changes in one domain are contained and do not affect others. Reduces risk of breaking dashboards or downstream workflows. Enables safer deployments in large projects. What tools in DBT help implement dependency isolation? Tags and model selection. Select, exclude, folders and sub-project structures. Documentation and lineage graphs. How does domain-driven DBT improve onboarding? New team members can focus on a single domain. Easier understanding of scope and dependencies. Reduces the learning curve in large projects. How can teams monitor cross-domain impact? Use lineage graphs to identify dependencies between domains. Implement tests for cross-domain references. Communicate changes before deployment to affected teams. How can dependency isolation reduce operational risks? Limits blast radius of model changes. Helps teams catch errors within a specific domain. Reduces incidents and ensures business continuity. Can dependency isolation improve collaboration? Yes, teams can focus on their domain while coordinating essential cross-domain work. Reduces conflict and improves efficiency. Promotes clarity in ownership and accountability. How does domain-driven analytics scale in large organizations? Multiple domains can operate independently with clear ownership. Scaling does not increase complexity linearly. Teams can manage dependencies systematically using DBT tools. What is the role of versioning in domain-driven DBT projects? Versioning ensures that updates within one domain do not break other domains. Helps manage cross-domain dependencies safely. Supports phased deployment and rollback strategies. How can domain-driven DBT support CI/CD pipelines? CI/CD pipelines can run tests and builds on individual domains. Reduces unnecessary build time for unaffected models. Enables focused deployment and faster iteration. When should teams implement dependency isolation and domain-driven design? As soon as the DBT project grows beyond a few models. When multiple teams are working on different business areas. Early adoption ensures maintainability, stability, and scalability of analytics workflows. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and follow ZoomInData for more advanced DBT interview questions and real-time project guidance. If you want hands-on exercises, detailed tutorials, or support for real-time DBT projects, contact ZoomInData.